Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift delivered to you at the perfect time, courtesy of the universe through the language of synchronicity. This is a timely reading, so if you are watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that might give you further clarity as to what's going on now. Okay, we do have, I did a little 5-minute meditation before this, and the underlying energy from the deck is the 8 of Cups. So the cups in tarot represent love. It can be romantic love. It could be love of anyone or anything. It could be love of something you love to be or do. And you are done. D-O-N-E, walking away. There's 8 cups lined up here, and you're walking away. There's only 10 available. So this is after putting a lot of time, money, and energy, investing of yourself into whatever this is a relationship with. This could be with someone. This could be with something. It could be something you love to do or be. And we do have the full moon and the new moon in the background there saying use your intuition. It's important to use both your logic and your intuition. Also that at the time of the moon, and as I'm doing this reading right now, there is a new moon tonight in the sign of Gemini. So there is a lot of moon energy coming out. This could be significant for you to pay attention to your intuition, particularly during the moon cycles at the full and the new moon. And the new moon generally is talking about moving on to new. And so new business, new partners, new friends, new family. That may sound funny. New family, but if you're in a position ever where something has happened between you and your family, and so then you want that family connection. Family can be any group of people that you resonate with, but you have to be very careful of that, because if you haven't healed those wounds properly, you might find when you look back later that, whoa, the people that you can almost name the people in the group that represent each person you just walked away from. And it's because you weren't done with the energy. So you went and found a group of people that looked very different. They may have even been from a different country or a different occupation, if it was from people at work, etc. But you replaced them with the same energy so that you could work through it, unknowingly, of course. So it's kind of, this card can have a lot of different energy to it. And the battle star is having the courage. This is the solar plexus. And now this may sound funny, but it's saying make sure you breathe. You might be saying, well, of course I'm breathing. I'm alive, Colette. Yes, I understand that. But what this means is breathe enough to breathe in enough oxygen, to breathe deeply, and calm yourself down. If you breathe through your nose, you will have more oxygen getting to your brain, and that calms your nervous system. It's one way of calming down. That's why a lot of people who meditate use breathing as part of that exercise. So this is having this is the solar plexus chakra, and it's talking about Manipura, and it is talking about having courage. Having courage to face whatever it is, and not replace old wounds with new wounds that are the same. I hear you. Life is funny, isn't it? Okay, so that's the underlying energy, is having the courage to walk away from the old, but then don't replace it with the same old shift in different forms of different people. And then or places and things, actually. And then, because yes, we do have some heartbreak here, and definitely there's 3 swords in this heart. This is talking about, 3 swords in the heart. But when you look again, you see, okay, that heart is really big in context to the swords. So there is they're more like stakes or nails. So this could be something that could be recovered from. And this heart is in this person's throat. Quite often that may talk about being too afraid to speak your truth. Or maybe you have spoken your truth and people are doing their best to make you afraid, to shut you up. And so it can be gossip and slander and all that type of energy. And this can also represent really harsh words being spoken to your face and behind your back. Sometimes never to your face, but always behind your back. And this is talking about quite often, because we have the swords here. The sword energy represents the element of air, and the swords represent your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. So this is talking about, making sure that, there's a decision that needs to be made, and it could be like a heartbreaking decision. So you're really doing your best to be brave enough to make the decision to walk away from people or places and things that you love. Knowing that that you need to be safe. And then we have in romantic love, this can sometimes represent a third party energy dividing a couple. And we have a never-ending nightmare. So it's this type of energy with the Nine of Swords. The good thing is the Nine of Swords is the end of a cycle. After 9, we have 10. 1 plus 0 equals 10. This was coming up a lot at the beginning of the new year, because when we left 2025 was a 9-year, and 2026 is a 10-year. So the 9-year is about completion, and the 10-year is 1 plus 0 equals 1. So it's a new beginning. So this is talking about the end of one cycle and the beginning of a new one, death and rebirth. So it's talking about this energy, this never-ending nightmare energy, which may have been with you for an entire decade, actually, is now coming to a closure. And this is talking about, waking up in fear and not being able to speak your truth and not having anyone to go to when you're in times of need. That makes you isolate and turn to God. And that may be the very best thing that could ever happen to you. Meditate and pray and quiet the mind to move out of this energy. So sometimes this can even be someone who's waking up in the wee hours of the morning, not from a nightmare, but from some sort of inspiration, because they've been doing a lot of meditation and prayer. And the quilt on the bed here has cosmic symbols on it, and it can be saying, this is that the universe does have you covered. Having said that, it's saying that you need to leave bed. You have to get out of bed and take action. You have to leave your comfort zone, basically. Also, something that I noticed on here, there's two figures here fighting with swords carved into the wood. Don't sleep on a bed frame where there's people fighting with swords. I mean, that is representing your thoughts and other people's thoughts and being in battle. And that, I don't think most people do have bed frames with swords, but it also can bring up if there's something underneath your bed that you're storing underneath your bed. You want to check what's underneath your bed. Is there photographs of people that and you put them all in a container and then there's nowhere to put them, so you put them under your bed. Check into that kind of energy, because it can have an effect on your sleep for sure. And then we have the Page of Cups coming in. So the Page of Cups, this could be representing an energy where this has something to do with someone that you had a relationship with, like an intimate romantic relationship with. This card can quite often mean like this page. Pages represent information and communication coming in. And it's really interesting because I have a page with the dates of the different important astrological aspects. And it just came flying off the wall. It was taped on there with duct tape, but whatever. So this is talking about a page falling. Like I gained, this is closure. This is like saying definitely. This is, I feel like the page falling off the wall probably means that this is maybe someone. Like this card can represent information and communication coming in from someone that has their eye on you romantically. But this can also represent the energy of someone coming in with some information or communication that you have had or do have right now, a romantic relationship. And there's something fishy going on. And you know, if you leave a fish out of water too long, then it starts to stink. And maybe there's something you need to look at in your romantic love life about your partnerships, who, you know, that sort of energy. Now, when the Page of Cups comes in the old days, the pages would work for someone, for the king and the queen in the court, around 7 to 14 years of age, depending on how mature they were. You have to remember back then, people only lived about half as long as they do now. So a lot of people were married by the time they were 14, 15. So this is talking about, you know, they didn't have the childhood and adolescence like we consider it today. Out of necessity, people would have to work. And this would be a huge coup, to be working a much better lifestyle than most people around you. Like, he's dressed in finery because he's working in the court. And his main job would be to communicate, you know, travel in between the walls there with communication. And that, you know, would always be in person, of course, like handing over a note and then waiting for another one to be written, or verbally saying something. So, but you don't have to expect the energy to come in that way right now. I mean, it could, but it's more likely to come in by phone call, text message. There could be, you know, something comes in the mail, or maybe if it's about love, you get delivery of flowers or something to that effect. Possibly it's an email coming through. There could be, you could be on social media, someone messages you. You maybe go to an event posted there, and the next thing you know, you meet someone that has exactly, like, woohoo, like you both have your eye on each other. So this is that type of energy. But if it's the opposite, and it's talking about someone having their eye on you from the past, that something was stinky, or someone really keeping a close eye, or someone's in your life because they're keeping a close eye on you, that type of energy. It's stinky, fishy. And this card here, the Pentacle energy, is representing, you know, the happiness in the 3D world, you know, through health, wealth, and happiness. And of course, a big part of that is money in the 3D world. And that's why the Pentacle energy, it's representing the element of earth. And so this is about earthly matters and matters on earth. And this is talking about, you know, the Pentacle energy is representing a coin, but you could have all the money in the world, and if you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, then you're not going to be living your best lifestyle. So this is talking about lifestyle. And this card has a couple meanings. It can be like you've planted seeds and now it's time to harvest those seeds. And this person is giving to charity because they feel that they're in a position that they can, now that their harvest came in. They have a scale of justice, and they're not giving to this person because if you look closely, this person already has something in their pocket. So this is basically saying this person would rather use your money and risk your money for risky ventures than their own, and breadcrumb you. And so there could be some sort of energy going on. When this type of energy shows up, quite often breadcrumbing does show up. It can represent like a lot of people making money off of you, and you're doing the work, and you're, you know, and this is having the courage to be able to face this energy, because you know, this can represent a calculated effort between a group of people. Okay, we have strength and courage. When I was doing the meditation, I kept seeing this card. So this can be talking about definitely people in your inner circle. This card is representing, this young woman is reaching into this lion's mouth because she wants to reach her infinite potential. And so she's reaching deep into the scary beast, of her fear. And she's doing that to prove to herself that she can face her fear because she wants this infinite potential. And this lion, this is a full-grown male lion. This is very dangerous to do. Yet, look, he has his tail tucked under and he's being submissive because she is, being brave, and she's doing this often. So this is talking about someone that's been facing their fears. That's the collective energy. You've been facing your fears and mustering up the courage, I feel, to walk away from people that you care about, or you have walked away and dealing with that right now. It's really challenging. But you're recognizing that there's something fishy going on, and like, hey, I need to be careful here. This energy of this dragon, I started doing this oracle back in 2007, and I finished all 64 paintings in 2020, but this particular painting, it's a 3x4. This is a reproduction of it. It's a 3 foot by 4 foot painting. It's very big. This one took me 2 years to complete. And it's because I was trying to get the courage to go through what was happening at that time. When I think back to that time, it's when I was, learning how to host seminars and learning how to go out and speak in public. And I was terrified. and then actually expanding my horizons to teaching, being in online, in videos, in like presenting in that way. It was terrifying for me. And it took 2 years to complete this painting. And we have this energy of the Page of Swords. And so this is also talking about a breath of fresh air coming in. When you challenge yourself like that, it is terrifying, but it's really fulfilling. It's like this channel. I've been waiting to make sure I have the time to dedicate, because if you start a YouTube channel and you want it to be successful, you have to pour a lot of energy into it. It takes up a lot of time. And so, and it's terrifying to start a new channel as well. But when you do it, it's so freeing to be able to say, hey, I had the courage to face all those fears and do that. And so it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, okay, there's one less fear to deal with. And I'm not that you ever are totally fearless in it, but that courage doesn't mean there's no fear. Courage just means that you stand up to the fear and you dig deep within yourself to be able to face it. And so this energy is talking about the Page of Swords. And notice that the page has the word, in the swords is the word, follow with 2 S's here. And so this is talking about using your words wisely. The swords do represent the element of air. They represent your thoughts, and how are your thoughts expressed through your words. And so it's talking about, if there's harsh words and gossip and slander and maybe haters, like telling you, hey, your work sucks or whatever, you have to be able to have the courage to face that. And so this energy is talking about that. And the Page of Swords, like the Page of Cups, it's a message of some sort of communication coming in. This can sometimes be like an aha moment that you have yourself, like where you say, I get it. I finally get it. Like, I understand it. You've been something's been rolling around in your mind, and you finally, aha. And you're like looking for like a piece of paper to scribble it down on. He's the only one of the pages that's not totally focused on his element. This, especially with 2 of them coming in, this could definitely represent people that that you've known since elementary school, high school, about to go to college, 7 to 14. At 21, when a page becomes an adult, they can be considered for knighthood if they can have the money to afford the horse, and they've been, stepping up to their responsibilities. So this can represent that time frame, 7 to 14 in elementary school, and then elementary school to, starting college and stepping into the workforce. That type of energy. So it might give you an idea of the time frame. It could be talking about some unresolved energy with this card here from that time frame. And having a new way of thinking now. It's like a breath of fresh air when you face those fears. It doesn't mean that you're fearless. It doesn't even necessarily mean that, people are applauding your efforts. They might not even, it could be like, wow, like you're not that good at it yet. It's okay, but to put yourself out there when you're in that, it's talking about facing your fear is what courage is about. It doesn't mean the fear is gone. And so this energy is talking about that. And it can, this is, can be talking about, this is discipline of your mind and saying, I don't care. I'm going to quiet my mind and I'm going to plug my mind into what my authentic desires are. I'm going with my heart, and so this then becomes like a healed heart because you're being authentic within yourself. And so this could be some communication coming in. Again, this is interesting because this is sometimes representing like using technology to spy on someone. And it can be like hidden cameras and hidden microphones and, gang stalking type of energy that, of people keeping an eye on you. And then this is talking about, the Knight of Pentacles is coming in. So the Knight of Pentacles is representing a grown-up knight. This is the Pentacles represent, of course, that energy of your lifestyle. And the thing about the Knight of Pentacles is he is the slowest moving knight of all of the 4 knights in the tarot, like slow. It could take him, he sometimes has a board meeting with himself to just brush his teeth. So it can be really frustrating. It could be information that you've been waiting or some sort of truth or some sort of information you want that you've been waiting for, and it could be about your childhood. It could be that time frame, 7, 14, up to 21 years of age. Or it could also maybe represent something that happened 7 years ago, 14 years ago, or 21 years ago. And that may sound like a long ways back, but that's you could have been at that age, and that's what this is talking about. Or it could be just cycles of 7 years, basically. So just, it might give you a little bit more information about what's going on here, because there's definitely a need to face some fears here and to move forward regardless of your fear. So congratulations for doing so, because this is showing that that's what you're doing. When the good news about the Knight of Pentacles is when his information does come in, it's well researched. It's like he's, checked the contracts. He's maybe had lawyers go over contracts if it's a business deal. He's been really careful with that. And so usually this is a solid offer that you've done your research on. So that's basically what it's saying. If you're going to collaborate with people, make sure you know who you're collaborating with. And then we have, this is an Ace of Wands coming in. This is a gift from the divine saying the truth is coming out, and you are coming into your own here. Congratulations for being so brave. This is going to give you a passion for life again, like being able to be yourself and be authentic in yourself. And it may have taken you a long time to face whatever you've been afraid of, but you're out there and you're doing it. Now this is talking about, also sometimes can be talking about a passion for new discovery from someone who's investigating something that happened back when you were a child. Now that could be you, or it could be someone else, a private detective. Maybe you've hired a private detective to look into something that's been happening regarding a situation when you were younger, or possibly with people that you were associating with in that time frame. And then this is talking about the Nine of Pentacles. So see, this is the energy, and this is why I was picking this up. If you look here, we have Six Pentacles here, and she's got her hand on Six Pentacles. This is when you're learning, when you first get into doing something, and you're learning the ropes, basically. You're learning the give and take of this business, or the give and take of this group of people, or the give and take of an industry, that sort of energy. And so it's talking about having to learn how to give and receive. And the thing is, it's really funny, if you deal with a lot of spiritual people, they will say give and receive. They won't say take. But that's kind of an unrealistic energy. Receive sounds like more pleasant and nice, but there's nothing wrong with taking what belongs to you. Like if you go to work at a regular job and you don't get a paycheck at the end of the month, you're going to be upset. What do you mean I don't get a paycheck? Oh, well, we thought you received enough from, no, I want I need to be paid. I have bills to pay. And that's the kind of energy it's okay to say give and take. It is give and take. And yes, you can be open to receiving, but you are taking, and it's okay. You're taking paycheck from the universe for doing the work, basically. And so this is talking about looking after, like learning, having learned. Okay, this is how the energy you need to be in. This is pre-Empress energy now. So this is talking about someone who embodies the qualities of all four queens from the minor arcana, or she's becoming very close to it. And maybe the last lesson that you need to learn is the lesson of discernment, of being able to recognize that you need to look after yourself. You need to keep your hands on this Six Pentacles, if that's what you need to make your payments, to make your resources, to meet your bills and commitments, and to have extra left over in case of an emergency. And then when you have like these other three, then maybe one of those you're going to give to charity. You are going to maybe invest in a more risky investment that is going to really increase your financial portfolio, but it's not going to impede your ability to meet your responsibilities. And then this pentacle is talking about maybe saving up for a vacation for yourself because you deserve it. And it's kind of this energy is learning that discernment. This always reminds me of Nikola Tesla, the famous inventor. He and gifted genius. And he would say you have to, if you knew the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. And that's what this falcon represents, the energy to be able to have the foresight to understand that you have to look after yourself, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to look after anyone. And you put yourself in a very serious, it can put you in a very serious position where now you haven't looked after your own needs. What does an empty vessel have to give to others, And then we have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is talking about having like the beginning of fulfillment. And I feel like that's what this is saying, looking after yourself along the journey. And this is the official marriage card. So it could be talking about new passion coming in your life. I feel that this is more about being passionate about life again after going through some major hardship here. And having to walk away from a lot of people, places, and things that you love. And this is, but this is saying it's a beginning of fulfillment. Basically, quite often this is considered the official card of marriage. So it could be a marriage within yourself, or this could be talking about you, someone coming in now, but you want to be in your Empress energy when you attract someone. You don't want to be in this energy. And so this is having the down payment for your castle, but you still have to make the mortgage payments. It's talking about, perhaps someone has proposed to you, and you're planning the wedding, but then you're going to have to put the relationship, energy into that relationship. And if that's a marriage between yourself, then and the courage to face your fears, then this is talking about a new foundation for life, like a new base foundation for moving forward in a much stronger way than you were in the past. And so lessons learned. And so this is heartbreaking decisions have to be made. And I feel like that's walking away. And it takes a lot of courage to walk away from the people, places, and things that you love. And this is talking about, it's been a long time for this, the money to come back in, the lifestyle to be returning to you, the passion to even want it again. And this is talking about that having a much stronger foundation for sure of moving forward. And that's because you've learned at a very high level about discernment. How much are you willing to invest your time, your money, and energy into other people? Who are you willing to do that with? What can you anticipate in return? And is it a fair exchange of energy? And then this is having the strength and the courage to do that. It takes a lot of courage to face your shadow side. So congratulations. This is a really, really good reading with strong advice. If you're leaving it here, thank you for your time and energy. And I'm going to clarify now for those of you who want clarification. And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in my gallery from the Intergalactic Federation of Light, the Oracle. You can look up these paintings if you want. I will put them in the description box below. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. It may enlighten you as to something. So we already know we had the battle star as the underlying energy. We have Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is talking about elevating or conquering. Like some people feel like there's people that sometimes feel like they have to put other people down to be able to look better. And, they conquer rather than elevating, especially using their words. The Scorpio energy is, when it's at its strongest, it's someone who is very much able to bring people together and unite people with their words. And I just want to point out that when I do have horoscope signs come up in my general collective readings like this, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the actual signs themselves and the strengths and weaknesses. What can we learn from each of the signs? If you ever get your birth chart done, you will find out that you probably have most, if not all, of the signs in your birth chart somewhere. And so we can all learn from the energy, and we can also learn how to understand other people better. And so this could, in your own personal reading, watching this, you could say, no, Colette, it was a Scorpio. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Scorpio broke your heart. That's okay. You have to use your intuition. I just want you to be aware. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let's learn from the energy. Now, the mother's worry, this card has been coming up a lot. And I really do feel that has to do with a lot of people's worry on the planet. A lot of people call Earth Mother Earth, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, everything's so chaotic. And it is, it absolutely is. But it always has been. And then it comes back into contraction, and things get back into order, it expands, and things get messy, and then it comes back into contraction. We go through cycles, in and out of cycles. Life is about cycles. Degradation of energy. Basically, it's talking, human beings are made up of a great deal of water. And so it's talking about, how are you looking after yourself? The Empress energy looks after herself. And that's also talking about this, having the courage to do what's best for you. You need to stand up for yourself sometimes. And then this is talking about pride. It's all or nothing. A lot of people fall into this. This is a karmic space. It's kind of like, I want it all, or I'm not going to bother. It's like sometimes you'll go to someone's house and you'll be like, whoa, they could be like, their Instagram page is real. This is how they really live. And then the next time you go there and you're like, whoa, this is even messier than my place. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, it's talking about some people are like that. They either have things absolutely perfect or perfectly messy. And it depends on what cycle they're going through. So we're human beings. We have sometimes people have time to have that perfect, perfection, and sometimes they don't, or they just had some shift happen that they had to deal with. And so, the temptation is coming in. And where is that sitting? It's sitting on this energy of, basically the money coming in. This is a lot of money. There's only 10 pentacles in tarot. This is would be, 10 is trillionaire, billionaire, and this is multimillionaire. So someone's tempted by the money and wants to breadcrumb you, possibly. There could be some sort of energy there. Let's see. When temptation comes in, I never rely on the devil to tell the truth. It's very manipulative energy. So I always take the next card out. I want to see what minion does the devil send in to do his dirty work, and what does God cover it? What's going on here? Perception. This is definitely talking about a past energy, or one that you're in now, that you're making this decision, whatever, or you're about to make. This is talking about, someone that was thought the grass was greener on the other side. And now maybe it has been in the past. This is this energy that could have gone either way. Could have been someone that had their eye on you, you had their eye on them, and then they decided, someone else is better. And they went that direction, but now they're realizing that it was fake. And now you're almost at this Empress energy, and they can see it was fake, and they're like, dang, the grass was greener on the other side because it was fake. And maybe they're trying to come back in again. But if they've already put you in this energy, remember, people do tend to show you exactly who they are the first time around, but sometimes we just don't want to believe it. And then we have this energy of jealousy. So definitely this can be talking about the karmic space of jealousy. We can all fall into this karmic space. It's not that hard. And this is talking about, I'd rather be better than bitter. And that's a good motto to have. Sometimes this can represent sibling rivalry, but sometimes, we can be jealous of our own self. Like maybe 5 years ago, you were 20 pounds lighter and you felt you looked better, and you're jealous of yourself, how you were back then to then how you are now. Jealousy has no bounds. And it's just easy to fall into that. And siblings, quite often we have karma with each other, and we came in together so that we could work it out. And sometimes it doesn't work out that well. So yeah, I really like this. This is full of information. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. I really appreciate them. They're helping me build my channel. And consider subscribing. I am honored when you do so. Bye for now.